The INEC budget for 2019 elections was submitted last month to the National Assembly. The budget is yet to be passed by the lawmakers amid allegations and blame game between the legislature and the executive. The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption and the senior lawyer, Professor Sowore, has also blamed the National Assembly.
The failure or refusal of the National Assembly to approve funds for the 2019 elections will constitute a sabotage of our democracy, of which the Constitution is the very embodiment. If elections are not held, it will mean the collapse of our democracy, leading to chaos and anarchy. The question that arises is therefore very simple. Which is more critical, the democracy and the survival of Nigeria? Is it the power of the National Assembly to approve the budget, or secondly, the survival of democracy and Nigeria itself?
Professor Sowore spoke to Channels Television earlier today, reacting to the issues on the ground regarding the 2019 elections budget. The presidential election is a big stage in the electioneering process. It comes with high competitiveness. Those who vie for the position are presumably aware of the heavy workload, the tough decision-making, and overseeing a lot of duties. For the past few months, aspirants have been coming on the show to reel out their plans, especially how they fit as the alternatives to the ruling APC and major opposition PDP. Tonight, we'll be looking at the 2019 presidential race and the elections ahead. Of course, there's been talk about the third first, and we have a coalition on the other hand, where the ruling APC is also saying they will win by a larger margin this time around. Where is our confidence coming from? It seems the opposition and the third first and the coalition are also talking tough, and they are pretty confident. So let's break these issues down for you. Tonight on the program, I have a presidential aspirant on the program. Mr. Omoyele Sowore is also a media entrepreneur. Also with him is Dr. Odipo Ike. He's an intellectual, he's a lecturer of business in Lagos and a founding member of the APC. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. Let me begin with you, Mr. Sowore. It looks so much that the confidence from the APC, the ruling party, they are saying that they will win with larger margin this time around. You think so?
No, I don't think so. I think they are confident in a wrong way. It's not confidence, it's arrogance. And the same kind of arrogance that the PDP had prior to the 2015 election. And the rest, as we say today, is history. APC is towing the same path. They are confident because of what they did in Ekiti and got away with it. But they should not forget that the PDP did the same thing in Ekiti in 2014 and thought they got away with it, but lost the general election in 2015. I covered that election from wall to wall across Nigeria. There is no reason they should be confident. Their performances across board has been terrible. They haven't done anything to deserve a re-election. In fact, they have not done anything to deserve remaining as a political party in Nigeria. The party has been a disaster. Their programs have not been implemented. They came and said they want to protect the country through security, where the story as it is unfolding in Borno today and also with Fulani herdsmen, we just had more openness in the arena of security challenges in the country. You also have had issues of poverty in the land. This government is going down. There's no question about it. And they know they are going down. But, this is some kind of false confidence that they project onto the public because they have disempowered the Nigerian people to the extent that they think that if they distribute 5,000 naira again in the next election, general election, they will be able to convince and win the election. But they will be shocked. They will be shocked. And like I said, this is not confidence, it's arrogance, it's cockiness, and it's going to lead to, political suicide.
Dr. Odipo, do you agree with Mr. Sowore? Because he says that it's not confidence, it's cockiness. Do you think so?
I totally disagree with him. I wonder whether the presidential aspirant lives in Nigeria of today. I reside in this country. I've been part of the system, and I can tell you, it's not been, we started from a very bad position in terms of trying to correct the problems of we met on ground. And I can tell you the issue of security. If you remember, prior to 2015, you used to hear about pipelines being busted. Those things don't happen any longer. So anybody saying we've not done well in security, managing security issues, the person is probably just playing politics. He's playing politics. If you look at the issue of Boko Haram, from the time we came, Boko Haram had annexed portions of states. They had territories. They had flags flying. People were paying taxes to them. That is no longer in the case today. You know that what they do is, of course, they're doing kind of guerrilla warfare. It will take time before they wipe them out completely. In the issue of our promises to Nigerians, from security, we're doing our utmost best. And I don't think anybody, I will refer you back. There's a country called Venezuela. I remember during Jonathan, Venezuela, their minister for petroleum came here to advise us on how we would have gotten our acts together. Today, the economy has broken down. Venezuela has failed. What happened? If we did not have the presidency, the president we have, if we don't have the kind of government we have, Nigeria would have been a failed state by now. So we're in a very bad situation. From there, to correct issues is not an easy process. So I can tell you that we are doing well, and I know that 2019 is going to be a walkover for us. Most people don't think so, but I tell you, in 2015, we couldn't, I'm from Delta State, from south of Nigeria. We couldn't do much. But I tell you today, if you go to the south of Nigeria, most people are queuing into APC, they're coming in on board, and they're going to vote Buhari. You go to southeast, they're singing Buhari. So I'm telling you that why we have this confidence is that we're going to do a lot better than we did in 2015, looking at what we have on ground. Now, this is the only government that has been able to look at the poor people and specifically care for them, provide for the poor. We have programs that specifically touch the poor masses. It's a government that's concerned about now we're not about after the elites. We're not after them, those who have put this country in problem. We're after the poor masses in the villages. And I'm sure if you reach out to them and talk to them, you see that most will have programs that they can key to and they're benefiting. And the statistics are there for us to see. You see before a lot of people they leave school, there's no job for them. We have programs where people now are being trained, and as they're being trained into various skills to acquire and work for themselves tomorrow, they're being paid. So the Empower program. So there's so many of them that it's just that most people who are in the cities have refused to understand that the era of free money has gone.
All right.
The era of contracts, where people just give you contracts.
Let's for a moment break down some of these issues. Let me bring back Mr. Sowore. Mr. Sowore, if you look at what is happening in Nigeria political atmosphere right now, it does look like maybe there might be some people who is afraid of the Buhari candidacy. For example, we have seen that the PDP is coalescing with about 30 political parties. Do you think that there is a candidate on the ground now that you know that can beat Buhari should he become the presidential candidate of the APC at the 2019 election, considering his antecedent as a politician in the last 3 elections or so?
Well, you know, Buhari lost election 3 times before he won the 2015 election, so he's not news that he knows how to lose and he will lose this time around. What our colleague here is saying is not true. I just came back from Benue. You cannot believe that there are a lot of Nigerians who are internally displaced, refugees in their own land, even receiving support, food from the United Nations. I saw them in Benue. Nigeria just recently became the poorest, the poverty capital of the world, taken over from India. That happened under the Buhari regime. It's a lie that Boko Haram is no longer in control of territory. They have almost 14 local governments under their control as we speak. They are completely almost in control of the Lake Chad area, and this is well known. They're killing soldiers the way they've never killed them before, and all of this is public knowledge. I don't know why. I know the APC people are very good at propaganda. That's why we call them the All Propaganda Congress. They like to lie, but they have been able to lie for 3 years. They cannot lie themselves out of the next impending defeat that will happen to the party. The party should just accept that they lied to Nigeria some 3 years ago. They were able to lie themselves into office, and now they are buying votes. That is what they are relying upon. They want to gather money. You know, where do you get the money from to buy votes in Ekiti? It's because you have engaged in the same kind of political corruption that you claim you were against. So we have just
let's take a moment on the program. We need to take a quick break. But I'd like to also point out that the information and story that we have is that there are no Boko Haram does not hold any territory in the country. But we'll take a moment, and when we come back, we'll discuss more. What 2019 holds for Nigeria, the third force, the coalition, and all of the agenda of the top job for Nigeria. That's next. Join us again.